All right, sneaker fam, welcome back to another video. Senior here, and today, as you can see, we are talking about OG4 colorways and the OG4 collection that I've got going on inside of my collection, and one honorable mention, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you can get a notification every time I do drop a new video. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I'll push this video out to more and more people. And make sure you comment down below. Do you have any or all of these sneakers? What are your thoughts on Jordan 4s? Jordan 4s, as we'll talk here pretty soon, is my favorite silhouette. And we're going to rank these as far as what my favorite of the OG colorways are. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so finish the collection off. I guess we'll get this box open because this is the only one that's still in the box. It's not up in the sneaker boxes yet. Got to do some reorganization. Kind of also waiting for my 2025 pickups so far this year. That video will be coming soon. But with the addition of the white cement, I've completed the OG Jordan 4 collection, and I'm really struggling this year with the fact that I have 2 of the 4 OG 5s, and the other 2 are coming out later this year. But there's other sneakers I want more, man, because the Fire Red with the black Fire Red tongue ones are coming out, and then the Grape 5s are coming out later this month. But there's something I want next weekend that's coming out, so hopefully we'll be doing a mall vlog pickup, and hopefully we'll get some more time. Oh, crap. Maybe not, but we'll see. I've got to work that day. Kind of messing my schedule up a little bit, but anyways, you know, there's some other shoes out that I want to get closer to the 1 through 14 collection more than I think I want the OG 5. So I think that that's where we're going to go with that. But so let's talk about each one of these, how I grab them, and you know, and then we'll rank them on what my favorite is. And if you don't know this channel, do not look at this. This is not the ranking. And if you know this channel and if you know me, you already know what my favorite shoe is on this table. But anyways, let's go left to right. This is going to be the honorable mention because this is an OG colorway, but it is not the OG materials. This is. So this is the Bred 4 Reimagined. Grabbed this last year. One of the hotter shoes last year. Wasn't super difficult to get. I don't remember where I grabbed this one from. But still DS, I definitely feel like I need to rock this here pretty soon. You know, great shoe. I love, this is one of the Reimagines that I loved. I guess there's only 2 that I don't have, I think. And I really don't, the other 2 I don't really feel like I need to have. It is one of those things where it's like I already have a majority of that collection, so do I want to try and fight and get the rest of the collection? But I think more times than not, the Reimagined series has been really, really good, right? There's only 2 that I don't have, and there's 2 that people really don't like, right? And they're both Jordan 1s that people didn't really like. So Reimagined Bred 4, honorable mention because, like I said, it is an OG colorway. It's just not OG materials. Coming up next, here we have the Military Blues. This is one of 4 pairs I was able to grab last year. That was pretty crazy. I sold 2 day of 2 citywide souls. Didn't realize I was going to end up grabbing that many, but hey man, it is what it is. I thought this shoe was going to be a lot more difficult to grab than it actually was, but hey, it is what it is. I turned another pair and some other Jordan 4s and stuff, into the Travis Scott's Jumpman Jack mochas and the Kobe Venice Beaches. So great deal all around. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I definitely shouldn't have picked up all 4 pairs that I hit on, but I mean, it is what it is, and you take the 4 W's and you get the 4 W when you get the 4 W's, right? Doesn't happen like that very often for me, but you know, I did get 2 for this, and I didn't go pick up my second pair. I figured I don't need multiple pairs and let somebody else grab this. And seeing as how we're talking about it, the white cements, probably one of the hyper shoes this year, which is crazy because this year has been just chock full of crazy releases and really hype stuff that everybody's trying to go after. But you know, this is a great pair. I was just trying to look to see if I can see some of the speckled on the back of my shoe. You can still see it is speckled a little bit, so that's pretty cool. You know, I left my second pairs for somebody else to grab. I just didn't have the time, the energy, and really the desire to try and turn around and flip these. You know, something that we might do midweek. There was a tragic story here in my hometown. And it's something I do want to talk about. It hurt me to not talk about it when it happened, but, you know, maybe midweek we'll talk about that. Next on the table, 2020 pair, the Jordan 4 Fire Reds. Got this on a shock drop, one of my very few shock drop W's. You know, this one was definitely a must-have for me. And we'll talk about that when we get closer to it. But yeah, just had to have this shoe. And this was a Father's Day gift from 2019. They didn't actually come out on Father's Day. It was really, really close. It was about this time in 2019 when this pair dropped. Back when we were waiting in line, I was like 7, I think. And Foot Locker, it was like first come, first serve. We got into them all early. Boys were with me. I got off of work, worked midnight shift, got up, stayed up, went to the mall, grabbed these. So back when sneakers was, I guess, somewhat crazy, but not super crazy. But this one was definitely a must. One of the first crazy OG colorways that of any Jordan that I ended up grabbing about this time, 2019. So about this time, 6 years ago. Man, this shoe's been out 6 years already. Wow, that's crazy. So a little backstory behind all of them. So let's rank them. So like I said, this will have to be an honorable mention. I know that might be sacrilegious to some of you guys. But out of the 4, number 4, I'm going to go military blue. Still a great colorway, just not my favorite. Next will be the white cements. I definitely like this colorway, super clean, awesome colorway, but definitely not up there personally for me. Number 2 is the OG Breds. With the story, the boys being with me, one of the first OG colorways that I grabbed in my collection, and then you know, it being a Father's Day gift and stuff, but just this colorway is just so classic. I really thoroughly enjoy the shoe. Rock this thing quite a bit. You can see it's creased up, it's dirty, probably really needs to be cleaned. It looks like it might have been worn during the winter time. Looks like I might got some rock salt in there, so stuff's not good for your shoes, so get it cleaned. And then last but definitely not least, number 1, my favorite shoe of all time in general, not just in my collection, not just Jordan 4s, but all time, the Fire Red Jordan 4. This was my first shoe, my first Jordan ever, back in when I was in 8th grade. So it would have been 1990. So I remember making it a big deal because this shoe, by the time I got it, it wasn't even the hype Jordan 4. The Jordan 5 was out. So, but the nostalgia and then the story behind this shoe is that when I hit this shoe on the shock drop, I was so excited, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard this story before, but If you haven't, this is your first time here, you're hearing the story for the first time. I got an alert from the J23 app, probably the best $5 I've ever spent. J23 app let me know a few minutes early. I was able to be on the sneakers app, and bang, your boy got them, and I cried. Wifey calls these my crying shoes, because it was just meant so much to me, and you know, buying back a piece of my childhood, I guess. And you know, when I can hold something like this in my hands that can represent my childhood, because unfortunately in the city I live in Toledo, all of the schools that I went to growing up have been torn down. They've rebuilt other schools on top of those, and then they've moved schools. So my childhood home burned down. So it's like part of my childhood has been completely wiped away, quote unquote, jokingly. But you know, being able to grab a pair like this and just remember back to 1990, feeling cool that you have a fresh pair of J's on your feet was super, super sick. So that is my OG Jordan 4 collection. You know, shared, like I said, I've shared these stories. You guys, especially with some of these videos, you guys have gone and seen me drive around, grab tons of pairs, you know, I wasn't making YouTube videos back when I grabbed this shoe, so that definitely would have been cool to catch me waiting in line, making that video, and I was dead dog tired because I worked midnights back then. But anyways, you know, wasn't making YouTube channels for a couple of these, but you guys have seen me and heard some of the stories related to why I, you know, love sneakers, kind of why, you know, I've got my collection and why I started YouTube, man. This is something that we all have in common. And again, we can all have our opinions. You know, I've read some of the comments about the, you know, some of the shoes, and hey, your opinion's your opinion. You rock what you like, I rock what I like, and in the end, we can all just respect the fact that we love sneakers. Everybody loves different things, man. Everybody loves different cars. But, you know, it's like car culture too, right? Everybody, just because you like a certain car doesn't mean that everybody has to like that car. And you know, I really appreciate everybody that's into different things. Like my boy Ruben, he's huge into Chuck Taylors. I like Chucks, but not like him, and I can respect that. And I think it's awesome that he has a shoe that he really, really loves. And this is the shoe that I really, really love. This is the Jordan 4. Is the most pairs of one silhouette I have in my collection. I have 14 different pairs. And if you guys want to see a video about that, comment down below. Do you want to see a full Jordan 4 collection video? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys have a story that you guys can share down in the comments below about what your favorite sneakers are. Let me know what your favorite sneakers are out of the OG Jordan 4 collection. So let me know in the comments, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And remember, guys, like I always say, your sneakers are made to be worn. And some of these have been worn, and most of them are going to be worn here pretty soon. So wear them. Senior out.